So our next story is about how 10% of young Americans who have STDs claim abstinence.
And this was done through researchers that
Yes.
collected over 14,000 urine samples. What else they did? Of young adults, average age 22. They filled out a survey for a national longitudinal study of adolescent health.
Right. So they took this study, and then 10% or more of them, said, I haven't been sexually active within the last year, or I haven't had sex at all. So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And they were trying to say is basically those teens, the researchers are saying that the teens are either lying or just don't know.
Yeah.
Because there's certain things that they don't consider sex. Like the oral sex, sometimes even anal sex. And usually a lot of people don't put that in there. They don't consider that sex. That's like foreplay. Sex to a lot of teens or a lot of young adults is intercourse. Going in. Intercourse vaginally. It's the truth. People don't consider it anal or oral sex as actual sex. And that you can get transmitted diseases through those things.
So, the ones who said they haven't had sex within a year, they could have possibly contracted it, 2 years ago, right? 3 years ago. The ones who just say they haven't been sexually active, again, yeah, come on, kid, they're not even kids, they're my age. You should know better than, you can catch these diseases, orally, or even, I don't know, can you, if you finger a girl and then you, eat or something, or, lick your finger or something, can that?
I think it's more when you have cuts.
Okay.
And, some type of interaction with blood.
Yeah, so even if you have, a cut on your hand and you guys are rubbing each other, or, your fingers are inside her, right?
Cut on cut action, it has to be blood on blood.
Oh, okay.
Usually that's the way it works. But, a lot of teenagers and these guys, people are usually going down on each other.
Right.
In some cases, anal. And that's where a lot of that, and especially, unprotected sex. Because, these teenagers are having sex, and actual intercourse sex, and they're still not admitting to it.
Right. And that they're probably, I don't know, they're 22. I would understand if these kids were, younger, 16, 17, and possibly, I hate to say it, 15, but 15-year-olds are,
But you gotta remember how we're being educated. We're being educated where wear condoms so you won't get sexually transmitted diseases when you have intercourse. It's never been pushed about oral. Oral sex is sex. It's sex. Don't get around it. It's part of the type of, area where you can get a disease. That whole area of diseases can come from that area of intercourse and oral sex. And a lot of these students are not getting it. Or the way society teaches them,
Right, it's just not. I don't know, I still feel like these kids, there's, I know you try to justify it and say it's the way we've been, it's hot, blah, 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 blah. I feel like you can't really justify it if you're 22 years old, you're an adult, you're off in college, come on, it's almost like common sense. You're putting his thing in your mouth, he has little red dots or bumps on it,
but if it looks clean, to someone it looks clean.
Yeah, but you should always take that precaution. Alright, I'm putting his raw penis in my mouth.
Oh, he was a pretty cool guy in the party. I could trust him.
And I'm feeling real good.
He looks real healthy and good, so I want a piece of him.
Yeah, come on, ladies. I think there's no excuse. I'm sorry. There's no excuse. There's no society taught us this way, No one ever wants to put a condom on for oral, blah, blah, blah. But you always have to think.